Hello there. I wanted to thank you for clicking onto my YouTube channel. My name's Cody. What I wanted to do here is to put together a simple yoga routine that really goes back to basics. So I'm going to run through some sun salutations, show you some of the basic positions. We're going to run through Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and just really focus on what you need to know to really get started in yoga. I've been doing yoga for over 4 years now. I've taken different classes. I've watched different YouTube channels just like you are here. I've done different videos, and I enjoy yoga so much because it helps increase my flexibility, leaves me less vulnerable to injury, and really strengthens me in a different way. I'll be talking about some of the breathing aspects of yoga as well as we go along, so keep an ear out for that. But this is really just going to be just a basic run through of a nice little yoga flow, and I hope you'll enjoy. Super easy to get started. Really all you need is a nice soft surface. I don't recommend doing this on hardwood floor or like laminate or anything like that. That can get slippery, especially if you get a little bit sweaty. I started doing yoga just on carpet. After a little while, I bought a yoga mat. Didn't buy anything expensive. I went to Five Below. I know they have them at TJ Maxx as well. My first yoga mat was $5. Yoga's not a practice that I think should be very expensive, and I have gotten a nicer mat over the years, but I still have my $5 yoga mat that I started with, so don't think that you need to spend a lot. I also recommend having water nearby. It's always nice to have some water just in case your mouth gets dry. Like I said, there is a breathing aspect to it, so it's always good to have some water nearby. And I also always have a towel nearby as well. You might be doing this on a towel because this is the first time you've been doing yoga, but I like having a towel nearby just to wipe my face off or wipe my hands off to keep them dry. So really all you need is some space on the floor and gravity. As long as you have those two things, we should be good to go. So let's get started. Thank you for joining me, and namaste. Alright, so we're going to start today's practice just in a standing pose. You'll see some people start in child's pose. That's very good. I like starting in a standing pose. It makes me feel like I have good posture. And we're just going to start with 3 deep breaths. So you're going to inhale through your nose and exhale through the mouth. On this inhale, we're going to bring our hands overhead, reach up towards the sky, reach, and then fold forward. When you're at the bottom here, we're just going to hang. You might be up here, and that's okay. You're just letting gravity take over here. You can even bend your knees here a little bit if it's a little bit too much on your hamstrings. Alright, so we're going to take a big inhale here, and we're going to go to flat back. So flat back, I like to rest my hands on my shin, just like this. And I like to focus on my back being flat, just like this. We're going to exhale down again. Then on this inhale, we're going to bring it all back up, keeping that back nice and flat, and coming back to prayer. One more time, inhale up. We're going to swan dive it down. Inhale into flat back. Exhale down. On this inhale, we're gonna flat back, come back up, and back to prayer. So that's the start of what is called a sun salutation. So now we're gonna do it one more time. We're gonna go into a plank position and then come back up. So as we flow through these, we're gonna increase the intensity just a little bit. And this is really the foundation of yoga practice, is these sun salutations. So here we go. We're gonna inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're gonna bend forward, keeping that back nice and flat. Inhale to flat back here. Exhale down. Now I'm gonna put my hands on the ground. I'm gonna step back into a plank. We're just gonna hold this plank for a second. Now this might be intense for you. Feel free to drop those knees down. Just feel your upper body having some strength, focusing on that breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. We're going to walk those feet back up to the front. Inhale up to flat back again. Exhale down. Inhale, swan dive, back up to standing. Alright, so now we're going to go through the whole sun salutation. We're going to go into downward dog and then to upward dog. Or upward dog and then downward dog, I'm sorry. So here we go. Inhale the arms up. Exhale down. Inhale to flat back. Exhale down. We're going to step back. We're back in that plank position. This time we're going to drop down into chaturanga. And then now we're going to go into upward dog. Some key features of upward dog. You might be starting here with your knees on the ground, just supporting your upper body. This is technically called cobra position, anything where your knees are still on the ground. In upward dog, we're going to have those knees off the ground. Also notice that my feet, the front part of my feet are actually on the ground here. You can start here if you want with your toes still on the ground. But as you get a little bit stronger, try to put those tops of the feet on the ground. Alright, we're going to go back up to plank. And we're going to go up into upward dog. Now upward dog is like a reverse triangle. Your butt's going to be up in the air. You're going to try to straighten your legs the best that you can. And also straighten your arms. The key is to look like an A or a reverse V, where your butt's in the air, your back is flat, and your legs are straight. You might be starting here, and that's okay. Just feel yourself pushing that floor away from you. We're going to go back into a plank position. We're going to step up to the front. Inhale into flat back. Exhale down. Inhale all the way to stand again. Now that feels pretty good. Now that's a whole sun salutation. It really wakes up the body, gets the energy start flowing from your head all the way to your toes, and really gets your breath moving a little bit more and your heart beating. So we're going to run through that 3 times just so you get used to it. We're going to go nice and slow. So here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. Inhale to flat back. Exhale down, hands on the ground. Back to plank. We're going to drop down into chaturanga. Inhale into upward dog. From upward dog, we're going to go back to plank and then to downward dog. We're going to take one good breath here in downward dog. I'm not going to go back to plank this time. I'm just going to walk those feet up to the hands. We're gonna inhale to flat back. Exhale, release all the way down. Inhale, up to standing pose. That's one. Here we go, two more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, all the way down. To flat back. Exhale, hands on the ground. Step back into plank. From plank, you're going to go into chaturanga to upward dog. If you're still on your knees, that's okay. From upward dog, we're going to put the feet back on the ground to plank to downward dog. One breath here. Inhale through the nose. Really focus on pushing that floor away. We're going to step our feet up to our hands. Inhale into flat back. Exhale down. Inhale to stand. One more here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Inhale to flat back. Exhale down. Step back to plank. From plank, we're going to go down into chaturanga to upward dog. From upward dog, we're going to go to plank again, and then to downward dog. And we're going to step those feet up to the hands. Inhale to flat back. Exhale down. Inhale back up to standing pose. Alright, that was about 9 minutes. I'm starting to feel my breath increase a little bit. We're going to move into some standing postures now. I'm going to run you through Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and Reverse Warrior. So these are really the foundational standing poses. Actually, I'm going to start with Crescent Pose and show you the difference between Crescent Pose and Warrior 1. So let's get going here. Alright. Inhale those arms up. Exhale down. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Back to plank. From plank, we're going to go into chaturanga, upward dog. Everything goes through these vinyasas. Back to plank, go into downward dog. Alright, so now we're going to go from downward dog. We're going to lift the right leg up into the air just like this. Okay? So you're going to try the best you can to get it as high as possible. You might just have it just a little bit off the ground, and that's okay. But try to fight to get some height. You're going to stretch that leg all the way up to your hands. You are now in runner stretch here. So in runner stretch, we're going to do our best to keep this back leg straight. We're going to keep the knee in line with the foot. We're going to go from runner stretch, put our arms up into the air, into crescent pose. My back leg is straight. My foot, I still have all the weight on the ball of my foot here. And I'm just looking forward. Hands up straight next to my ears. We're going to exhale, go down. We're going to drop that leg back into plank. Now from plank, instead of going all the way back up to stand, we're going to go down into chaturanga and into upward dog. From upward dog, we're going to go back to plank and then to downward dog. From downward dog, we're going to lift our left leg just like we lifted that right leg. Do your best to get a little bit of height and swing it through in between your hands. Now we are in runner stretch. Again, weight is still on the ball of our foot. Knee is still over the ankle. And we're going to raise the arms into crescent pose. Do your best to straighten this back leg. You might have a little bend in it. You might be up here. just standing. That's okay. As you get a little bit stronger, you're going to be able to support yourself in a lunge here. Hands back down to the floor. We're going to drop that foot back into plank. We're going to do our chaturanga into into upward dog. And then we're going to exhale, plank to downward dog. Just one breath here. Alright, again, we're going to float that right leg up into the air. We're going to put it in between our hands. This time we're going to drop our back heel so that the weight is on the instep of the foot. From here, we're going to go up just like crescent pose. The only difference is our foot's on the ground this time. So we have weight in a different part of our foot. It's going to stretch the hips in a different direction. Hands are still up by the ears. My knee is still over my ankle in good alignment. And I'm going to exhale, hands back to the floor. So again, I'm in plank. I'm going to go down into chaturanga, into upward dog. From upward dog to plank to downward dog. Now I'm going to lift that left leg up into the air, getting a little bit of height. Then I'm going to swing it in between my hands. I'm going to put my right foot down so that the instep of my foot is on the ground. I'm now going to rise into Warrior One. So, key aspects again here in Warrior One is that my knee is over my heel. I'm doing my best to rotate my body, trying to keep my hips as square as I can to my mat. I have my hands up next to my ears, and I'm working to keep that back foot on the ground. If it's coming up a little, don't worry, it'll come with some flexibility. So I'm going to exhale, hands back down, foot back to plank. We're going to do a push-up into upward dog. From upward dog, we're going to go to plank, to downward dog. From downward dog, we're going to lift that right leg up into the air again. Swing it through. We're going to drop that back heel down again, just like we did for Warrior One. And we're going to go into Warrior One. And then we're going to rotate our body into Warrior Two. So now my hips are in line with my legs. My knee is still over my ankle. My back foot is still flat on the ground. I'm going to lift my arms to shoulder length. And I'm going to look over my right hand. This might be a little challenging for you at first. It does require a little bit of shoulder strength. So if you don't have that, just put your hands in prayer and rotate that shoulder so that you're in good alignment. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to go back into Warrior One, and hands back down to the floor. Right foot back into plank, and we're going to do that other side. So push up to upward dog, to plank, to downward dog. We're going to float that left leg up into the air, get a little bit of height. Swing your feet up to your hands. You're going to put that back foot down flat on the ground again. Inhale up to Warrior One. From Warrior One, we're going to shift our weight into Warrior Two. Again, making sure that my shoulders are over my hips. My back foot's still flat on the floor, and my knee is still over my ankle. You might be up here. That's okay. You're doing yoga. This might be the first time you've ever done yoga. We're going to go from Warrior Two to Warrior One. From Warrior One, we're going to go back down to the floor, back to plank. All right, we got one more move here, so stick with me. We're gonna go from plank to chaturanga. From chaturanga, we are going to upward dog. From upward dog to plank to downward dog. One good breath here in downward dog. All right, again, we're gonna lift that right leg up into the air. We're gonna swing it through up to our hands. Again, we're gonna put that back foot down. We're again gonna stretch the arms out to warrior one. We're gonna go from warrior one to warrior two. While we're in warrior two, we're gonna drop the left arm back to the leg. We're gonna take our right arm and hold it over our head, leaning back slightly, putting a little bit of weight on that left leg. You can straighten this leg here if you'd like, or keep it bent. It's all up to you. Really focusing on this side stretch right here, reaching back over the head. And you can look up to the hand, or just keep looking forward. That'll help your balance a little bit, just looking forward. We're gonna go from reverse warrior back to warrior two. From warrior two to warrior one. From warrior one, we're gonna go back to the ground. Put that foot back, now you're in plank. Gonna go down to chaturanga, upward dog. We're gonna go from upward dog into downward dog. In downward dog, we're going to lift that left leg up into the air, try to get a little bit of height, and we're going to swing that foot up between the hands. We're going to put that back foot down. We're going to go into warrior one. Exhale into warrior two. Make sure that you're keeping those shoulders over the waist. Keep that knee in line with the ankle. From warrior two, we're going to drop back. That right hand's going to find the right knee. Our left hand is going to go overhead. You can either look at the hand, look at the elbow, or look just right in front of you. Whatever helps your balance. You can keep that front leg straight, or you can bend it into a little bit of a lunge. Focusing on this stretch here, now on the left side. From reverse warrior, we're going to go back up into warrior two. From warrior two, we're going to go to warrior one. From warrior one, we're going to go back down to the mat, hands flat on the ground, and we're going to put that foot back to plank. And now we're going to do our last vinyasa of the day. So we're going to drop down into chaturanga to upward dog. From upward dog, we're going to go back to plank. From plank, we're going to go down to downward dog. So one good breath here in downward dog. Try to do the best downward dog of the day. Really push that floor away. Try to get your heels as close to the ground as you can. Stretching the calves and Achilles. And we're going to walk our hands back up to the front of the mat. From here, we're going to inhale up to flat back. Exhale all the way down. And we're just going to hang here for a second. Feeling the weight of our upper body, pulling the hamstrings down to the floor. Just kind of put your hands on your arms here and let them hang. Just really feel the upper body weight pulling some length into your hamstrings. Alright, from here we're going to inhale, reverse that swan dive, keeping that back as flat as you can as you come up. Exhale into standing pose. Alright, so now the moving asanas are done. We're just going to take a seat here on our mat or on the floor, and we're going to stretch just a little bit, okay? So, going to do a couple simple stretches. The first one, we're going to keep our left leg straight out in front of us. We're going to take our right foot into the middle of our leg here. We're going to sit up nice and straight. We're going to put the arms overhead. and we're just going to fall forward over that left leg. So you might just be right here. That might feel really good on your hamstring. I don't want you to overdo it here, especially if this is the first couple times that you've stretched in a while or the first time you're doing yoga. If you can reach your foot, go ahead and grab your foot and really just focus on inhaling and exhaling. When you exhale, you can get a little bit deeper in that stretch. Alright, release that side. We're going to extend that right leg, pull the left leg in. Again, we're going to sit up straight, arms overhead. We're just going to fall forward. Letting the weight of our upper body again naturally pull some length into that hamstring. This is the part of yoga that I really think really helps me the most. I'm a nurse. I hold a lot of emotions in my lower back here. I also have to, move patients, and often my back gets a little tired or tight. And doing these nice stretches here at the end really lengthen the hamstring, helps release some of the glute tension. We're going to put both legs together here. We're again going to sit up straight, arms overhead, and we're just going to fall forward. Again, just reach as far as you can. You might be right here at your shins. You might be reaching for those toes. If you get to your toes, reach for your heels and just pull yourself toward your toes gently. Really here we're focusing on inhaling and exhaling. Just feeling that breath, allowing us to stay in this posture. These are a little uncomfortable. It takes time, but if you keep breathing, clear your mind a little bit, and you'll be amazed at how the breathing will allow you to stay in an uncomfortable position. There. So we're going to release that. This next one we're going to lay back on our back. This is one of my favorite stretches because it really stretches that glute muscle. So you're going to take your right leg, you're going to bend it and put the right outside ankle on your left thigh. You're going to reach in between your legs and grab your other shin, and you're just going to pull that shin in towards you until you feel that glute activate. Once you feel that nice stretch, just stay right there. You might still have your leg on the ground, your left foot on the ground, and that's okay. This glute gets really tight. I do a lot of yoga and still my glute gets tight, but I can really stretch it here. And this one feels really good to me. We're going to release that and do it on the other side. So left outside ankle is going to hook onto the right thigh. Like I said, this might be the stretch for you right here, and that's fine. Just continue to focus on your breathing. If this feels okay, you're going to reach in between your legs. You're going to pull on your other shin towards your body. Oh. Release that again. Now we're going to do a simple back stretch. We're going to extend that right leg flat on the ground. We're going to pull our left leg into our chest, and then we're going to rotate over to the side. Just nice and easy here. You're going to take your left arm and lay that flat on the ground to the left. Just feel that stretch in your lower back here. You can even look in the other direction to get a little bit of a neck stretch, or just keep your neck at neutral spine and look up at the ceiling. A couple breaths here. Starting to slow down. This is the end of our practice. We're going to release that side. We're gonna extend the left leg. We're gonna pull that right knee into the chest, and we're gonna rotate it over to the side. Right arm flat on the ground. You can look at your right hand or keep your neck at neutral spine. Just look at the ceiling. 3 nice breaths here. Feel the energy in the lower back. And release. Alright, so yoga, unlike other exercises, you don't just end the exercise, get up and go about your day. You're supposed to really relax at the end of it. So we're going to do Shavasana. So you're flat on your back. You're just going to let your feet kind of fall towards the floor. You're going to take your arms, lay them flat on the ground, and just let the weight of your body fall into the ground. You can even close your eyes here and just focus on the breath. You're going to take 3 deep breaths here. You can stay in Savasana as long as you need. This is a really just restorative pose. Just feel the weight and the tension of your body fall, and just like gravity, really pull your body into the floor. To get out of Savasana, I usually just wiggle my fingers, wiggle my toes, get a little bit of energy back in, slowly open my eyes. From there, I'm going to just go up into a seating pose. I'm going to cross my legs. And that's it. I want to thank you once again for joining me. This was a 30-minute introduction to yoga here. I hope that this kind of introduces you to yoga practice, kind of walks you through each and every movement. The sun salutations is a great way to energize your body. You might feel a little bit sore after this tomorrow. You've stretched some muscles in a different way than maybe you're used to, but just know that every time that you do yoga, you're elongating your muscles. You're increasing the flexibility of your muscles so that they're not pulling against your skeleton. They're not pulling you in a position that's causing you back pain. They're not pulling you in a position that's making your hamstrings extremely tight or your glutes extremely tight. So this, to me, is the most important part of my exercise regimen. Whenever I get away from doing yoga for a couple weeks, I can always tell that my flexibility is really hampered. And once I start doing yoga again, some discomforts in my back go away. I've alleviated knee pain doing yoga. And really, it's the one time during the week where I take 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, to really just restore the body, calm the mind a little bit, take some quiet time. I like putting on some nice music. Sometimes I light a candle, and just set the mood for that time. You can see I have a little space heater here. I like to make it nice and warm in my environment when I do yoga. It allows me to stretch, to be a little bit more flexible. So as you start to practice, and it is a practice, it's not an accomplishment, you're continuously working on stuff. There's stuff in my practice that I'm working on extremely hard, and I hope that this introduction really gets you excited about doing yoga. There's different yoga classes out there. I hope that you like this video. If you like the content here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing more yoga routines kind of like this. I'm going to focus on different areas of the body, some for core, some for back, some for specific sports, and I hope that you'll join me along this as well. So thank you once again, and namaste.